yesterday we had our Pick 7 event, which is our way of making outreach to those who are in need. Yesterday, we had over 290 people come through to receive help from our parish. Now, I like the way that we do the Pick 7. It's much easier and not very judgmental whatsoever. That a person just has to come. We don't ask them to show us that they're out of work or anything else. And they can come and get their 7 items, and we give a few other things, and they leave. We don't even have to even talk about how many family members they have. You know, we've had people in the past that have said, well, I have, 10 family members besides myself. And then we say, okay, we'll get you enough for all those people. Now it's like, okay, bring those 10 people, and they'll get 7 items each also, and the extra. Over 290 people were helped. Were helped because of your generosity. They were helped by those that have gone and bought some type of items, whether they be hygienic products or food, so that these people might be able to have those items. They were helped by those that have given to our outreach here at St. Matthias, that money that is used to supplement those things which were not donated. They were helped by anyone who has given anything to St. Matthias Church. Because although it might not go directly for the items, it definitely goes to make sure that that hall is kept up and that we have electricity and everything else. So many people were helped because of you. You might never know them. They might never know you. But they do owe gratitude for what you did. For what you did. We have a lot of people here that need to be anointed in the middle of the night. Now, just so you know, people that want to be anointed in the middle of the night are most likely not parishioners, because all of you know that you need to call earlier than the very last second, because it seems like people for some reason think that they need to wait till the last second. This was not a part of my homily, but I'm going to add it anyway. I just recently, and the reason that I started to think about this was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got a call for an emergency anointing. I'm thinking, okay, they're calling me right now. I have a little bit of time. I go, well, how bad are they? Well, they haven't eaten for 3 days. I'm thinking, why did you wait 3 days? I guess I better hurry there very quickly. But those people who are able to receive the anointing of the sick, the apostolic pardon, is because of you also. I mean, without you giving in such a way that have a place to live, food to eat, a car to be able to drive, everything else that I need to do my ministry, without you, those people have a chance of not being able to receive the sacrament at the very last second. Right now, again, you probably don't know who they are, and they don't know you. But hopefully when we all meet in heaven, they thank you for what you did to allow them to be in heaven with Jesus Christ. So many things that you support here at St. Matthias, so that great things can happen. As I say this, of course, as you probably have figured out by now, I've said how much good things you do by what you have given. So the next step then is to ask you to give more. This weekend is the Catholic Services Appeal. Again, there are so many good things that the diocese does with the Catholic Services Appeal that you will never know those people who are affected. For example, we've had seminarians here, but those gentlemen who are studying for the priesthood, they pay for their education, their ministerial experiences, their development in the spirituality, so that they might be able to be good priests. Without the finances to do so, we wouldn't be able to educate our priests to serve future generations of Catholics. something that might even be less prevalent that you'll never know. I mean, those people that need to get an annulment, who made some type of mistake in their first marriage, and they want to have their marriage recognized in the church so that they can receive the sacrament of the body and blood of Christ at Mass once again. Without your donation to the Catholic Service Appeal, it would be much more difficult for us to do that. How many times have we heard in the news, well, the annulment process costs thousands of dollars. I'm like, and then I hear some people say that to, well, they told me it's going to cost thousands of dollars to be able to receive the annulment. Just so you know, the price is $400. And if you can't afford that, the diocese will waive the $400. They're able to keep the price down because of your giving. They're able to waive the fee because of your giving, so that these people might be back at being able to receive from the altar of the Lord again. I could go at one thing after another after another. The CSA supports about 20 things, and I could go through each one of them. How many of you people would want me to do that? That's what I thought. But the idea that the money that you give to the Catholic Services Appeal affects people in this parish, in this diocese, in this country, even worldwide, with things like the Peter's Pence and the collection, or the amount of money that's given to the Holy Land for the Christians there. Without you giving to the Catholic Services Appeal, those things cannot be supported. About 2 weeks ago, you received an invitation from the bishop, and this week a letter from me inviting you to participate in the Catholic Services Appeal. I ask you to consider doing so, to prayerfully consider so. Ask Jesus what he wants you to give. Now, of course, at this Mass, we also have it on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And so I usually don't do this, but I'm going to do it today. So for you, those of you that are watching us on those different services, you might also want to consider giving some type of donation to the Catholic Services Appeal. Like everyone else here, they have cards to be able to pledge towards it. We also, during this week, are going to put up on our Sunday visitors receiving the website where we get our collections online, a place to be able to make a pledge for the Catholic Services Appeal. I know there are many of you throughout the country and probably outside of this country that watch us week after week after week. Please consider in helping us to do great things here at St. Matthias, and to do great things through the Diocese of Gary.